Celebrated stage actor Anthony Tony John, riding high on the success of his current comedy A Gentleman's Gentleman, is offered the lead in a new production of Shakespeare's Othello by theatrical producer Max Lasker. Lasker also wants Tony's ex-wife, Britta, to co-star as Desdemona. Tony initially declines the offer, to the relief of director Victor Donlin, who knows that Tony becomes overly involved in his roles. Britta agrees with Donlin and warns press agent Bill Friend that although Tony's mood is delightful when appearing in a comedy, he is terrifying when performing in a drama. She warns Friend that Tony becomes so immersed in roles that they can take over his reality. Tony changes his mind after becoming obsessed with the idea of portraying Othello. Whilst contemplating the role, Tony meets waitress Pat Kroll at an Italian restaurant, and the two soon begin a casual affair. Britta reluctantly accepts the role of Desdemona and rehearsals begin. The production opens to rave reviews. But Tony gradually becomes absorbed in his role and begins to lose a grip on where the play ends and his real life begins. Tony sees jealousy as the key to his character. Just before the 300th performance of the play, Britta shows him a locket Bill gave her for her birthday, and this sparks jealous rages within him. That night, during Othello's kiss of death scene with Desdemona, Tony becomes overcome with the role and nearly chokes Britta to death. When the play begins its second year, Tony asks Britta to remarry him, but she refuses. Tony suspects Britta is in love with Bill. Enraged, confused and delirious, Tony goes to Pat's apartment. The play and reality become conflated in his mind and he eventually kills Pat with Othello's kiss of death. Tony returns to Britta's and falls asleep on her couch. The next day, reporter Al Cooley offers Bill front-page publicity for Tony's play by pointing out the similarities between Pat's murder and Othello's kiss of death. Tony is enraged when he sees the story and physically attacks Bill. Bill suspects Tony is Pat's killer and goes to the police, only to find that Pat's drunken neighbor has been arrested for her murder. Tony demands Bill's dismissal, and Bill plans a short vacation. Bill tells Britta he loves her, but Britta does not return his feelings. However, Britta reveals to Bill that Tony left her home on the night of Pat's murder. Bill hires an actress to dress up like Pat, including wearing Pat's distinctive earrings, and plants her as a waitress in the restaurant where Pat had worked. Bill invites Tony to the restaurant, and with police captain Pete Bonner watching, Tony becomes distraught upon seeing Pat's double and rushes out of the restaurant. Suspicious now, Bill and the police follow Tony to the theater. Standing in the wings, they watch the performance and are seen there by Tony. At the climax of the performance of Othello that evening, a guilt-ridden Tony stabs himself to death with a real dagger, at the point Othello does within the play. Backstage, bleeding from his self-inflicted wound, he confesses all and dies.